Alright, I already want to quit playing the game already. Oh, God. I don't want to talk about. Yo, what's up, Cat? How's it going? Okay. Maybe the remaster's offering? Okay, so we're locked behind. We have 2 conversations we have to get past. One with the acrobat guy and another with Mo. But I don't know where we have to go. Detention center, maybe? Detention center, 29th. December 29th, detention center, visitor's room. They must have taken Max in for questioning again. There really isn't anything we need to ask him right now anyway. You're right, I guess. All right, let's go then. Okay, so we can't talk to Max. You're eating food? Sounds good. That sounds good. Mo's room, maybe? What are you eating? Hopefully it's nice, ripe, and delicious. December 29th, lodging house, first floor, Mo's room. Mo's not here. What's that? I hear something. Stop it, Nick. Nick, you're scaring me. Hey, look, it's chat. Nick, it's money. That monkey's holding something. That's it. That's the thing that means a lot to Regina, remember? All right, time to take on this monkey, attorney style. Give it back, monkey brain. Stay. Ooh, 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 scratch. Definitely last one. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Wow. Is it me or is the game louder? Oh, that's because I have to change my volumes. Thank you. I forgot. I have to change my volumes. I have two mixes. I have a mix that I hear and I have the mix that you hear. I never hear what you hear. So, thanks for telling me. I always hear what my audio is. I tried to have a monkey-to-monkey talk with him. I really did. So fancy? Not really. It's actually not really. It's the way it's always been.
Thank you.
Nick, you I swiped it while money was distracted. Wow, you're really on the ball today, Nick. Let me see it. Let me see it. Huh? You can see it fine from where you are. You know what I mean. I really want to try on Regina's costume. Maybe then I'll take you in at the circus. I can get some peace and quiet. What's the matter now? It doesn't fit me at all. Oh well, I guess it's time for you to lay off the burgers. Not to mention it doesn't look like something any girl I know would actually wear. Stage costume was added to the court record. A shiny, spangled vest. It's not Maya's size at all. Okay. Yo, Cheese, thanks for gifting a sub to Yukaiwi. Yukaiwi, welcome back and enjoy the emotes and the sub badge. You now have a rainbow taco. Cheese, thanks for all the gift subs. You gifted a sub to, Snaka and Sana earlier today. Thanks very much for all the support. Thank you for gifting us another sub. Welcome back for 6 whole months. Yeah, 74 gift subs. He's insane. Insane. Let's see here. So we got what we needed from Monkey. We go to Acro. I guess we gotta go back and talk to Regina. No music there. Hey, I'm gonna leave you guys with Ben for a minute. I gotta go get some water, and then I'll be right back and we'll continue the game. Okay, I'm back. Yo, DJ, what's up? I didn't leave you for Gina, I'm sorry. Okay, let's go. I also went and I got 3 oatmeal raisin cookies. If you Dan's gave me for raisin, I don't want to hear it. Okay, so let's give Regina her vest. Hey, here you go, Regina. Yeah, thank you. You really got it back for me. Don't mention it. I love you, Mr. Attorney. Blush. It's nothing. No wonder guys melt to mush in front of this girl. Hey, Regina. That costume is yours, right? I tried it on, but it doesn't fit me. Huh? This costume? This isn't mine. It was Leon's. Leon's? You know, the lion she told us about. Oh, the one that someone killed. Is that another conversation? It is. Yeah, it's another conversation option. I'm having wonky-ass internet. Oh man, that sucks. Yeah, there's nothing worse than having terrible internet. It has rained a lot the past weeks, if that has anything to do with it. At least the phones. I love the rain. I love the rain. Like, if I could go to a place that was overcast all the time, I would be so happy. I need anything to get away from the sun. I hate the sun. Leon was killed, wasn't he? That's right, my dad killed him. Why? Well, Leon did something really bad during practice. During practice? Leon was sitting down and then he opened his mouth. You know, gaw. Usually when he did that, I would put my head into his mouth. What? You put your head into a lion's mouth? I sure did. The people in the crowd would always love seeing me do that. They'd always start screaming. You sure they were screaming because they loved seeing you do that? Anyways. That was the bad, what was the bad thing? Oh yeah, Leon bit someone during that practice. Regina, everything was all right though, right? No, it wasn't all right. That was the problem. My dad was incredibly angry. And that's when Leon, yeah, That was when he became a star in the sky. Poor thing. The animal show's lion shot by the ringmaster 6 months ago for biting a performer. Okay, well now we know. Did they say anything about Cyberpunk? Yeah, they did. They released a trailer for it, a release date for it, and a lot of other things in it. It looks really good. Outworlds, it was just pretty much more of the same. It was just a different trailer. But it already had a release date. I think it comes out in September. There was nothing new about it. It still comes out on the 9th. September. Okay, so now that we have that, do we go to Mo? Or we have to save. Cyberpunk actually looks really good. I wasn't really that much into it from the trailers that were shown before, but that last trailer got to me pretty looking forward to it. It looks nice. And I also doubt there will be any Capcom-related news at all now throughout E3. No sleep? I went to bed for 3 hours. What are you talking about? I went to bed. Okay, so now we got Mo. I've only ever played The Witcher 3, so I'm not too vast in their games that much. Okay, let's see here. Present this.
Take that!
Get over it. Mo, please tell us what happened 6 months ago. What in the world went on at this circus? Okay. There's no need to look so scary when you ask me. Hey, over here, some juicy burgers. Let's eat instead. Unfortunately, I'm more of a grilled chicken sandwich man myself. Oh, man. Chicken sandwiches are delicious. Actually, I've kind of got the idea of what happened back then. Mo, you said something about an accident? This wouldn't happen to be the cause of that accident. Okay, so now we have this. Okay. It was Leon.
Take that!
I heard a little bit about it from Regina. Leon made an accident during practice, right? How did you... I told them so many times. You shouldn't be doing such dangerous acts. Like putting her head inside Leon's mouth, right? Yeah, but Regina believed in Leon. She believed so strongly that the ringmaster went along. He never could say no to her. Out of curiosity, who was bitten? Come on, Mo. Don't clam up on me now. Who did Leon bite on the head? Well, I promised I wouldn't say anything. You promised? He's involved in this too. He's involved, huh? Mo must be talking about... Mo, is the person that you promised wouldn't say anything about?
Take that!
Yeah, that was like all too easy. It must have been Acro, right? How do you know? Don't worry about that, Mo. Getting to the bottom of this accident may help solve what happened to the ringmaster. No way. I need to know the truth about what happened to Russell. Please tell us what you know. I'm sorry, Acro. Nice. Sweet. Get over it. It's just like you said. You know the incident. Did someone die? No. But it would have probably been better if he had. What? How would that have been better? He's still alive. But when he got bit, he suffered massive brain damage. He'll never recover from a coma that he'll never recover from the coma that he's in. Coma? All he does now is lie in his bed at the hospital. And that's all he's ever going to be able to do. I see. How is he related to Acro? He's his brother. Damn. Huh? The person who got bit was Acro's brother. Brother? They were an acrobat team of brothers, Acro and Bat. Cute nicknames, I thought. Anyways, they were an incredible team cut down together in their prime. Damn, that sucks. And since the ringmaster couldn't say no to her, he probably seems really, Dad, you should really take the time. You should really take the time to proofread. E4? It's 3 p.m. for me. The next E3 is at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for me. Oh, I'm sorry, 1. Who is Acro's younger brother? Sean Dingling. But everyone calls him Bat. He fell in love with Regina. Trying to win her love was his downfall. Everyone seems to fall in love with Regina. Yeah, I mean, 6 months ago, while we were practicing, all of a sudden Bat blurted out, "Let me perform with Leon." Why did he do that? I don't know. But that's what caused the incident. Oh, shit. Oh my god. Can you imagine? I'll never forget that moment. It was so strange. Leon had the weirdest look on his face. He was smiling. Weird. You mean Leon? Yes, Leon. When he bit down, he was smiling. Oh my god, can you imagine getting your head bit by a lion? Oh, those big ass, those big teeth. Ooh, that sucks. Some sick, grin. No way, that's impossible. A smirking lying, a flying murderer. Why does it seem that it's always Mo who catches all these incredible events? Nick, can lions smile? He never told the police about the incident. We never told the police about the incident. The circus would have been shut down if we had. the next day, the ringmaster took Leon out and shot him with a rifle. So that's what really happened. Well, you guys were so serious. What was I supposed to do? I had to tell you. But all this truthfulness has put me in a mood for burgers. Here, you two have some pepper. Shake. There he goes again, acting like his normal crazed self. Achoo! Nice, what a wonderful sneeze. Huh, you think so? You sneeze with pepper and slip on a banana peel. That's basic clownsmanship. Girlie, I know you gotta understand that. Nick, I think I'd make a good clown. Other than Regina, I never seen a cuter sneezer. Does Regina sneeze with pepper too? She does. Bat would always tease her with pepper. Oh, shit. Oh, snap. Oh, God. What if they put the pepper in the lion? Oh, no. And so him getting bit was intentional. Oh, God. That sucks. That's probably what he wasn't smiling. His eyes were closed because he was about to sneeze. Oh, Jesus. Bat, from my point of view, those two always look so perfect together. They look perfect together, huh? Oh, man. That sucks. So that means someone put the pepper in the lion to purposely bite him, but who would have the motivation to do that? Ah, Mr. Wright. Back again, I see. Well, he did say I'll be back. Wait, or was that someone else? Wait, was that a Terminator reference? We're back because Acro's hiding why his legs were injured. He was hurt in a accident 6 months ago. It would seem that he knows that we know. Well, it seems you've got things you want to talk about, so fire away. Okay, so he knows.
Take that!
About the wheelchair. I have to ask you, how were you injured? I'm sorry, I thought we talked about this. It was an accident that happened during practice. An accident during practice? Yes, unfortunately, acrobats are prone to all sorts of injuries. He's lying. If that were the real cause, he'd have no reason to keep it a secret. Acro, are you really telling me that a practice accident was the cause of your injury? Oh, we got the profile of his younger brother. Okay. Seriously injured both legs while training 6 months ago. Bitten on the head 6 months ago by Leon. Oh crap, I didn't mean to do that, oops. Okay, well, I guess we can use this time to save. I guess that's fine. Okay. Alright, let's present that again. I guess we gotta present the tiger to move on. I will say this feature does kind of interrupt investigations. This whole, like, mine thing right here, where you gotta, like, probe people for their info, it does definitely kind of interrupt the investigations and make them a little bit longer.
Take that!
Leon, 6 months ago, you were attacked by the lion. That's why you were that's when you were injured. Damn, look at that serious face. He just got serious all of a sudden. I know I'm on the right track. I just need to keep going. You're saying that I was attacked by a lion? That's what I'm saying. I'm sorry, Mr. Wright, but I'm an acrobat. I'm no animal tamer. If a lion were coming right at me, I'd be running for the exit. Okay, maybe attacked is not the best words to be using. So, let me rephrase that as battled the lion. You seem to enjoy telling jokes. Why would I decide to battle a lion? Because you had to fight it. You had to fight it to save someone. That's easy as brother.
Take that!
Bat. It was a shame what happened to your brother 6 months ago. You tried to save him, didn't you? And that's how you got that terrible injury. Mo, he must have told you. Yeah, we learned about Bat from Mo. But he didn't mention anything about you in regards to the accident. I suppose it was just a slip of the tongue on his part. That's how I figured it out. A slip of the tongue? Anyways, they were an incredible team, cut down together in their prime. Cut down together. That was where he slipped, and that's how I figured it out. You two ended up at the center of the same incident together, like always. I see. But an accident is an accident. It wasn't anyone's fault. I still haven't broken Acro's last psychic lock. This one must be incredibly deep. This must be one incredibly deep-seated secret. It wasn't anyone's fault. Do you care to explain more? Acro, I know you are still hiding something from me. Maybe someone you don't seem to like much is the reason you've been so you're being evasive. Okay, he doesn't like Regina. But Regina talks about how she likes him. This has to be it. Does Wolfenstein 2 have multiple save spots so you can have 2 runs going at the same time? I'm not too sure what you mean by that. What do you mean? So you can load up a different save? Yeah? I think there's multiple save slots, yeah. But I'm not too sure. Hey, what's up, Captain? How's it going? How are you doing?
Take that!
It was Regina, nice. Regina. You always seem calm and collected until you start talking about her. Saying things like she is cruel. Well done, Mr. Attorney. You've got quite the set of eagle eyes. You know, her tiger tried to attack me. Regent tried to attack you? Twice! He wasn't serious, I'm sure. You're not trying to insinuate that I believe she spur on Leon to attack Bat, are you? Leon was never taught a command to attack people. Regina isn't capable of doing anything like that. Besides, Regina had no reason to want to hurt my little brother. Regina and Bat were such good friends back then. But you still hate Regina. I've got proof of it. What? What are you talking about? No, maybe I overdid it again. But if I can hand something over to Acro, maybe it'll... Here's proof that you had it out for Regina all along. Evidence? I feel like it's this. Yeah, it's the note. Has to be the note.
Take that!
It's the only thing that makes sense. This. Where'd you get it? Regina posted it on the bulletin board in the cafeteria. Before that, it was in her pocket. I guess I noticed it was in there around breakfast time. I always take Acro his breakfast in the morning. God, she's so bubbly. Look at her. You wrote this, and then you put it in her pocket. That's right, isn't it? That's right. Well done, Mr. Wright. Nice. Save scum? I didn't save scum. I got 'em all. I'm alive, so I can't complain. Hey, hey. She's very bubbly. When she jumps up and down, she's super bubbly. My legs were injured by Leon 6 months ago. My younger brother, Bat, had a dare with Regina. A dare? An absurd dare. If I can put my head inside Leon's mouth like you do, you have to go to the movies with me on a date. Oh my God, really? What the fuck? Are you kidding me? This man risked his life? Put his head in a lion? This guy put his head in a lion to go on a date with a girl? Oh my God. Talk about dudes doing anything to get the affection of a girl. Hey, they're still young? This guy's in a coma for the rest of his life. I don't care how young they are. He's never gonna have a proper life ever again. That's insane. Didn't he know how dangerous that is? We all thought he was being stupid too. But that lion was very old to begin with. And her age brought with countless experiences in doing that very trick. Unfortunately, this particular time, I guess Leon wasn't ready or willing. And that's when the incident happened. He must have wanted to take her out to the... He just wanted to take her out to the movies. Poor Bat. When Leon chomped down, I jumped towards him. And then Leon attacked me, and that's how I ended up. What about Bat? He's still in a coma. I went to the hospital yesterday to visit him. I see. I'm still waiting for him to open his eyes again. And that's the reason why I keep going. Regina and Bat. That's the dumbest thing you can do. Oh my God, is that the dumbest? Gotta get that booty? No means no? Dude, no booty in this world is worth putting your head in a lion. There is no booty in this world worth putting your head in a lion's mouth, okay? There is another girl out there somewhere just as worth your time that you do not have to put your head in a lion's mouth, okay? Forget about the one that you're being stupid about of putting your head in a lion's mouth and go find someone else. Ain't worth it. It is not worth it. Bat and Regina. They were such great friends. Oh yeah, I wanted you to take a look at this. What is it? This is the scarf my brother was wearing when Leon attacked him. Gross, it's covered in blood. This scarf. It was a present from Regina to my brother on the day of the accident. When he did it, he looked like he was smiling. He? Leon, obviously. Oh. When he bit down on Bat's head. Yeah, he looks like he's about to sneeze. The expression on Leon's face looked like it was like a grid. Nick. I know. Mo said the same thing. What do you think it all means? I'll be taking that scarf if you don't mind. What the hell is she doing here? Miss Von Karma. It's all, I have already heard everything, so hand over the scarf. But the scarf is evidence in the trial. That is for me to decide. I think we should begin our preparations now, Acro. Preparations? I served a summons to Acro to appear in court tomorrow as a witness. Acro will talk more at the prosecutor's office. We'll talk more at the prosecutor's office. I love this smug grin right here. She looks like such an asshole. Acro, a witness? Come on, Acro, let's go to the office. Yes, ma'am. Now what do we do, Nick? How are we going to handle tomorrow? Don't worry about it. I'll figure something out. Look at you, all full of confidence. You must have found something you can use. This is all beginning to come together now. Nice. She legit shows up, stole evidence, is now planning to withhold it. Damn, that apple doesn't fall far from the tree. I know, right? Like father, like daughter, my God. And she plans on making him say certain things and leaving certain things out of his testimony. Get out of here. Now this is a girl that's worth your time. Von Karma? No way. Can you imagine dating Von Karma? She will belittle you every moment she can. She will talk about how worthless you are, how terrible you are, how less of a human you are, as she's doing you up the ass with like a 36-inch black dildo. And then she's gonna be like, you think you're a man? Nope, you're no man. Nah. I don't think dating Von Karma is like one of the greatest things you want to do. Not at all. December 30th, 9:41 a.m. District Court, the Defendant's Lobby, number 5. Good morning, Max. Oh, yeah, hey, yeah. Good morning, sweeties. You don't seem like your usual sparkling self today. I'm always like this before I go in front of an audience. I'm working up to it. Tee-hee. Don't get nervous, Maxie. Here, have a glass of milk. Regina! How fabulous. My sweetie pie. My sweetie pie princess. You came to watch my performance today. Of course I did. Dude, Regina is like so innocent, my God. Mo told me that I should come and watch this. Mo said that. So, what kind of performance will you put on today? Let me guess, you'll fly at the end? It's not that kind of show. Isn't that right, my sweeties? Huh? I think my sweetie pie princess does it. Yeah, she doesn't seem to realize what's going on or even where she is. Well, Max, it looks like it's time to raise the curtain. I'll see you later. Today, I'm just a member of the audience. fabulous. Enjoy yourself out there. Good luck, Max. You're the best. Oh my god, look at... Jesus Christ. The sparkles. Regina's different, don't you think, Nick? Top of the morning to you. Everybody, let's get ready to get stuck in a legit limbo. How long can you go? Mo. Top of the morning to you, Governor. Top of the morning. That's the ticket. Attacking the day starts with energy in the morning. The early bird gets the worm, but then again, worms lack high brain function. Here, Max, I brought you a present. Have some milk. Oh my, thanks. So, how are you today, right? Well, I got a feeling that today I'm going to face off against the real culprit. You mean Acro? Huh? You think he did it? Be careful. He's used to putting his life on the line, literally. He's got guts to spare. If all I've got to worry about is how thin the tightrope is, I'm used to it already. It just means I won't be able to press him like I can other witnesses. What are you going to do then, Nick? I guess today we'll have to do without our usual psychological warfare. Today, we rely on evidence. It's the only way we'll get past Acro and the truth. You're right, but it's gonna be tough. Anyways, I want you to make sure that Regina sees it all today. It's important. Then she'll finally have to deal with reality of what happened to her father. You want us to make sure Regina watches? Yes, that's why I brought her here to court today. What's that supposed to mean? She needs to know that when people die, they don't just become stars. I may be an old-fashioned clown, but I don't believe in people becoming stars. Damn. Mo got really serious right there, didn't he? Jesus. He got super serious. Maybe she's like Minnie where she acts all innocent but's nasty underneath. I mean, maybe, but I don't know. She hasn't given us any kind of... You could kind of tell Minnie was putting on an act. Even the game commented on it. Like, one of the first interactions Phoenix had with Minnie was like, I can tell she's putting... he even says, like, I can tell she's putting up an act. I don't know. I think that's just the way Regina is. They said she's never really been outside of the circus. So, all she knows is the circus. Not that that would make her that bubbly, but in the context of a game and a storyline, that's kind of all you need. The court music is so good. Can we just take a moment to worship that judge's beard? Look how majestic that beard is looking. Look how beautiful it is. It looks gorgeous. Look at it. Magnificent. Oh, I wish I could have a beard like that. It's so beautiful. Court is now in session for the trial of Maximilian Galactica. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Well then, Miss Von Karma, you may proceed with your with your case. The prosecution would like to revise its previous theory of events. I'm Santa Claus, bitch. But he doesn't have any hair. Look, he's bald. Santa got hair, which don't you go telling me Santa's bald. Stop it. What's that? What's the meaning of this? We have discovered a new witness. Or shall I say a new eyewitness? One that saw Maximilian Galactica fly off from the scene of the crime. God, she's such an asshole. I love her. I love this face of hers. She's such a dick. I'm photoshopping this later. One that saw Maximilian Galactica fly off from the scene of the crime. Order. Order, order. Santa cannot suffer from male pattern baldness. He's a magical entity, okay? If Santa can fit down chimneys, he can beat male pattern baldness. Aka loves getting his balls stepped on. No, I don't. That sounds terrible. I had a feeling something like this would come up. Due to this revision, we are now prepared to explain how the defendant flew that night. And an explanation the prosecution will present if the need so arises. In fact, my detective stayed up all night creating a mock-up of the scene on my orders. Poor Gumshoe. Very well. Please call your witness to the stand. Time to get to work, or shall I say, time to walk the courtroom tightrope. Name and occupation. Ken Dingling, but everyone calls me Acro. I'm an employee. I'm employed as an acrobat at Berry Big Circus. Where were you the night of the crime? I was in my room that night. If you look at the map, you will see the witness's room is near the crime scene. The room is on the 3rd floor. The crime scene is below my window. The night of the crime, the witness saw something quite shocking. Would you tell us what you witnessed? Okay. Witness's testimony, what I witnessed. I like how in court he has birds. Like, okay. His birds are more animated than he is. I feel like that's why they're here. He's very expressionless compared to all the other characters. It was just after 10 p.m. I was resting in my bed. Around that time, I heard a large thump noise from outside the window. Then a few moments later, I saw something flying right by my window. It was Max Galactica. I only saw him from behind, but that's who it looked like. He even said that's who it looked like, but he didn't see it. God, these accounts are terrible. These accounts are so bad. To be honest, when I saw that, I thought I was dreaming. They're so bad. This witness's testimony matches up exactly with with that of the clown. If that's the case, there is very little the prosecution need add. All that's left is to explain how the defendant disappeared into the sky that night.
Hold it!
Before we get that far, I'd like to cross-examine the witness. A foolish choice by a foolish fool who wishes to feel foolish sadness of a sad fool. A man must know the proper timing for things, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Just like your old friend, Mr. Miles Edgeworth did. Mr. Wright, do you have a problem with the witness's testimony? In the words of Miss Von Karma, may I quote yesterday's proceedings? There is no way that actually happened. Very well. You may proceed with your cross-examination. Down, 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 down. Safe's coming. Don't judge me. It was just after 10 p.m. I was resting in my bed.
Hold it!
Hold it! You said that you were resting in bed? One would thus assume that you turned the lights off in your room, correct? That's correct. But there are safety lights around the outside of the lodging house. It's so bright, sometimes it makes it hard to sleep. If that's the case, wouldn't it be a good idea to close some curtains? I never really thought of that. I guess that means I'm off to buy some curtains. Sometimes I do make myself useful in these chambers. He even acknowledges that he's a terrible judge. Ow! The witness will proceed with his testimony. I love how the judge even acknowledges that he's a terrible judge. He could be so much better. Around that time, I heard a large thump noise from outside the window.
Hold it!
Your room is on the 3rd floor, right? Yes. And you said that you were resting in bed? That is correct. But you were still able to hear a noise from outside. I was indeed. Pressing acro doesn't seem to get results. But maybe something was contradictory in what he just said now. No. There's nothing wrong. There is a contradiction. There's a huge contradiction with the testimony that was just given.
Objection!
Objection! If there is a contradiction, then prove it with evidence. She's right. Let's see some evidence. Do you have any evidence to support your claim of the contradiction? Shit! Shit! No! Oh, God, that's not good. That's not good at all. Dun, dun, dun. Dun, dun, dun. A blunt force trauma. Time of death was 10:15. I'm gonna have to save. Good, thank God I saved scum. I don't know. This?
Take that!
This? What in the world is this? Good. I'm glad I saved scum. No, there's nothing wrong. What was the matter, Mr. Wright? Nothing, Your Honor. Until I could find a clear contradiction, I should tread lightly. Woo! Then a few moments later, I saw someone... Wait, what was the last one? Around that time, I heard a large thump noise from the outside the window. Okay. And then a few moments later, I saw someone flying right by my window.
Hold it!
Are you sure it was a human being? It could have been a mannequin, or perhaps a large action figure. Large action figure? Really, Phoenix? Where did you get that from? Well, setting aside the possibilities of a mannequin, an action figure is plausible. You have no need to mice words with Mr. Phoenix Wright. Testify to the truth and only the truth, just as if we were there for you, just as if we were there with you that night. I believe it was a human. Damn. I just strengthened his testimony. I wonder if Acro's statement jives with the facts. No, it does. There's nothing wrong. Why does she have a weapon? Because she's allowed to carry a whip in court, apparently, because dominatrix are, you know, that's what doms do. What's the matter, Mr. Wright? It's nothing, Your Honor. Until I can find a clear contradiction, I should tread lightly. She even whips people with it in court. I mean, she already whipped the judge with it this this case already. It was Max Galactica. I only saw him from behind, but that's who it looked like. But just because it looked like him doesn't mean it was him. The light in your room was turned off then, right? Yeah, that's true. I was going to bed after all. So with the light off, and you were you were still able to clearly see a human fly by your window? The safety lights lit things up enough for me to see. But honestly, there was only enough light for me to see the silhouette outside my window. It was the person's back, so I couldn't see the white roses on the front. Did you see any of the other symbols? I clearly saw the silk hat, as well as the cloak wrapped around his body. I'm convinced that person I saw was Max Galactica. The more I press him, the less results I seem to get. But maybe there was something fishy with his latest bit of testimony. Yo, what's up, Miro? How's it going? How you doing? Picture of the crime scene? The silk hat found at the crime scene. Wait. If he flew away with his hat... If he flew away with his hat and his cape, then how did his hat end up at the crime scene? How did it end up at the crime scene if he flew away with it? That seems odd. It's a one-of-a-kind hat. I'm doing good, taking a break from work. How's it going? It's going good. Enjoying some Ace Attorney. I'm enjoying some Ace Attorney. You know, just streaming, talking with chat. The same old, same old. That has to be it. There's a contradiction. That's a clear contradiction. There's a huge contradiction with that testimony that was given. Objection! Objection! Okay, we'll skip this because it seems the hat. It has to be the hat.
Take that!
You claim to have seen. Oh, was I right? Was I right? Yeah! I'm quitting streaming and becoming a defense attorney, y'all. Yeah. I think I need to focus more time on my lawyer skills. Lucky? That's not luck. I deduced that. That's not luck. I used logic. You claim to have seen the exact same thing Mo saw that night. Do you stand by that? What do you mean? The silk hat. What about the silk hat? I saw it on Max's head as he flew by my window. Well, you should have tried looking down out of your window that night. That would have been quite difficult considering the state I'm in. That is true. Just looking outside the window was tough enough challenge for me. That's a shame, because you would have noticed this silk hat was found on the scene. That's the ringmaster's hat, right? I'm afraid not. No matter how you look at it, this is Max's silk hat. Where are you going with this, Mr. Wright? Why does that dude look so happy and peaceful? That's just how his character is. He's not really happy or peaceful, though. His brother got bit on the head by a lion 6 months ago, and he's in a coma. He's not really happy and peaceful. That dude is pissed. Are you saying that Max has two silk hats? No. This is a handmade, one-of-a-kind model made only for Maximilian Galactica. Which means, Acro, you have been, fibbing on the stand. Order! Order!
Objection! Objection!
As always, it looks like someone just had to open their mouth before thinking. Are you okay, Nick? Well, I opened my big mouth and now I have to back it up. How about it, Mr. Wright? What would cause this witness to commit perjury in this court today? Oh no. He has a grudge against Max. Acro was dreaming. Acro is the real culprit. Acro is dreaming? He did say he thought he was dreaming, but I don't think that's true. Acro is the real culprit. He has a grudge against Max. It has to be either A or 1. I wish you could save Scum in real life. Oh my god, wouldn't that be so nice? That would be so nice. If you could save Scum in real life, like, I'm gonna go on a date with this person, and then it turns out to be a really shitty date. Just load your previous save and it never happened. Nice. I'm gonna go study this in school. Load your previous save of 4 years ago. I'm gonna do something else. That'd be so nice. He has a grudge against Max. Acro is the real culprit. I feel like this is wrong, but right at the same time. So I'm gonna go with it. That's what my gut is telling me to pick. Your Honor, on this occasion, the defense accuses Acro himself. On this occasion. Accuse Acro? What in the world are you accusing him of? Obviously, we accuse him of the murder of Mr. Russell Berry. Mr. Wright, are you serious? Deadly serious, Your Honor. I think your trips to the circus have served you well. You seem to have learned how to try and grab an audience's hearts and minds. Your Honor, don't allow yourself to be swayed by theatrics. Trying to woe the crowd with smoke and mirrors is the oldest bluff in the book. Really? If you don't believe me, just look at the witness. He's calm enough for it to almost be scary. He's staying rather calm and collected. Mr. Dealing, do you have any response to the defendant's accusations? I don't really need to say a thing, do I? What do you mean? Everyone, take a good look at me. I can't even stand up by myself, let alone leave the lodging house. That's true. I understand that Mr. Wright is just trying to help his client. But to do this by accusing me of murder of all things. See? Even a sliver of common sense makes it clear the accusation is ludicrous. She's right. Way to pick on the disabled, you heartless, cruel man. Oh, shit. Oh, God. Phoenix is a poopy head. See that, Mr. Phoenix Wright? You're trying to drum up support from the peanut gallery. That's how you do it. I think that's enough of this little game. I've got a doctor's note to confirm that Acro is unable to stand under his own power. Maybe the defense is planning to make maybe the defense is planning on making a claim to counter this as well. I can hear the defense now. Acro had an accomplice. What do you say about this, Mr. Wright? Did Acro have an accomplice? Of course he did. Of course he did it. I don't know. I don't know. I don't think so. Maybe. It is pretty clear. It is pretty clear that someone put pepper in Leon's face, which caused him to bite his brother on the brain. Why would someone do that? I have no idea. I have no idea. The only motives that make sense would be Ben killing him because Ben liked Regina too. There's 3 people that like Regina. It was Sean, Ben, and Max. And the only reason I can see someone getting rid of Sean is to make one less person to fight over Regina's affection. So we definitely, the person who probably caused him to have his head bitten is definitely probably the person who's the murderer in this case. But who would have the biggest reason to kill Sean? I don't see why he would have his brother killed and then get attacked by a lion. I definitely don't see that be the reason. But what I do see is that they did say that the ringmaster could never say no to Regina. And maybe for even allowing the head in the mouth tiger trick to even exist in the first place and not telling Regina it's too dangerous would be enough motivation for Acro to kill the ringmaster because he feels like his brother's coma was his responsibility. I don't know. Like I can't really think about who would have the motive to do what. I can't really see him having an accomplice though. Akasip, that's right. Shit, should I save scum? I'm gonna save scum. Oh fuck, I shouldn't have did it there, I should have did it here. Oh well, too late. Did he have an accomplice? Who would be his accomplice? It's definitely not Max. That's for sure. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah. His accomplice would be either Mo or Ben. That's the only 2 people it would be. Mo or Ben. But nothing points to neither one of them. Okay, I'm gonna pick of course he did. It's impossible for Acro to be the murderer in this case. If that's the case, then it's natural for one to consider possible accomplices. You don't say. Not good. Not good. This isn't going to end well. Don't tell me you think you're going to get off easy. What? You must not have heard that sound. You must have not have heard that sound just now. Maybe it wasn't clear enough. The sound of you falling into your own trap can be hard to notice sometimes. Mr. Wright, it seems as if you won't be stopping at Acro, but will be making other accusations. If Acro did not have an accomplice, things are not looking good for you. I understand, Your Honor. Gulp. Very well, let's continue. Who, perchance, would have happened to be Acro's accomplice? Mo? It's either Mo or the ventriloquist.
Take that!
I got it wrong. You don't say. Uh-oh. This is suddenly looking very, very bad. Don't tell me you think you're going to get off easy. What? Did you hear what? The sound of your own trap. Wait. What? It just... Ben?
Take that!
Mr. Wright. This piece of evidence is lacking in persuasive power. You didn't miss that sound. Did you, Mr. Phoenix Wright? You know the sound of you receiving a penalty. Ugh. What are you doing, Nick? Wait. Load. Shit. Okay, if it's not Mo, then who could it be? There's no one else it could be. If it's not Mo. If it's not Mo and it's not Ben. Mia did teach me everything. Alright, let's go here again. Let's see here. Okay, if it's not Mo and it's not Ben, it's not Von Karma, it's not Gunshoe. The only other people it can be is either Max, Regina, Russell Berry himself. Very well. Let's continue. Who perchance would happen to be Akon's accomplice? Oh, can you please not do that? Because you kind of just told me it was Mooney the Monkey by putting people in parentheses. That kind of just told me it was Money the Monkey.
Take that!
You don't say. Did I get it wrong? Wait, what? I got baited. I did get baited. I got severely baited. it's not Mo and it's not Ben, well, it can only ever be Regina.
Take that!
Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor. This piece is... God damn it. God damn it. Of course he did. The only other person leaves Russell and Max. That's it. Russell.
Take that!
You don't say. Okay. Foundation. Yes, Mr. Wright. Do you have any proof that this person you have accused was indeed an accomplice? Wait. Wait. So now... To the murderer, I haven't forgot what happened 6 months ago. I have conclusive evidence that of what took place. Okay. There's one creepy looking statue. He had an accomplice. A thump. The victim was hunched over this 20-pound box. It boasted a small but strong lock. Okay. Okay, so we gotta present evidence that he had an accomplice. If he had an accomplice, do we even have evidence that supports this claim? I don't think so. Wait. Oh, I can't, I don't know this.
Take that!
Yes, Your Honor. Okay. I think I might have an idea. Okay, yes, he did. Okay. Let's pick Mo again.
Take that!
You don't say. Oh. What? Did you hear that? Yeah, hear what? Foundation. Yes, Mr. Wright. Do you have any proof that this person you accused was indeed an accomplice? The only thing I can think of is this.
Take that!
No, this piece of evidence is lacking in persuasive power. Ah! Then I feel like this whole thing is a waste of time. I feel like I've been wasting my time then. I guess we have to pick, of course, he didn't. Now then, this must be... Now then, this must be when we hear the name of the mystery accomplice. Not this time, Von Karma. What? You're not going to sucker me into this one. What are you babbling about, Mr. Wright? There was no accomplice. Acro planned and committed this murder all by himself. Order. Order. What the? What are you getting at? Are you telling me we had to pick no to advance? come on. That's what we had to do? Ugh. Way to keep them on their toes, Nick. Now I'm going to have to prove how it all fits together. I have to show how Acro murdered Russell Berry. Can you do it, Nick? Can you really do that? I know what I can't do. I can't stop now. If I stop attacking, I'm doomed. All right, then let's do it. Mr. Phoenix Wright. If this witness is the killer, then his eyewitness account is all lies, right? Mr. Wright, I'd like you to clear something up for me. When the crime was committed, exactly where was Mr. Dealing? In his room.
Take that!
He was obviously here the entire time. That's Acro's room. Pretty simple, eh? Acro wasn't able to leave the lodging house by himself. In that case, there can only be one correct answer. Acro didn't leave his room to kill the ringmaster. What are you nuts? Yeah, I love her sweating face. It looks so good. Like her, with just seeing her in any kind of despair is just, you gotta savor the moments. Because she's such an ass. What say you, Mr. Dealing? It's an interesting theory. That's it? And considering that what you propose is impossible, yes, that's it. But why is it impossible? Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor. As the witness has stated, your assertion is impossible. As he is in a wheelchair, there is no way he could have gone to the scene or be the killer. You've got a point. It seems you've forgotten once again, Mr. Phoenix Wright. The defendant was clearly spotted at the scene of the crime. That's true. Mo said that he saw Max, didn't he? He didn't really see Max, though. He just saw his cape and a hat. That doesn't automatically make it Max. But Maya, it's still impossible for humans to fly. Do you mind if I ask a question, Mr. Wright? Oh, what is it? I understand some of your logic. However, how do you think that I killed him? If I can't leave my room, I obviously couldn't wear Max's costume. How did he do it? That's the next course of this legal, buffet. Be careful, Nick. If you mess up here. She's right. I can't mess up here. I've got to give this one some serious thought. I'm sure that Acro killed the ringmaster. And he did it while he was in his room, no doubt about it. Time to enlighten us as to how Mr. Dealing committed the crime, Mr. Wright. Oh shit, I gotta present evidence? Okay. Present evidence? How did he do it? It has to be with the wooden box. That's the only thing that makes sense. The victim was hunched over this 20-pound box. It boasts a small but strong lock. That's the that's about the only thing we have in our evidence that you can that, or maybe the statue that's gone missing. I wonder how the statue that's gone missing is gonna come into play. It has to. There's no other way. Blunt force trauma to the back of the head. Okay. Present evidence. I'm going to present some evidence. So what did Mr. Dealing use to commit the crime of murder against Russell Berry? Gravity? I'm gonna wait for the point to...
Take that!
Here it comes. I think you should try again, especially before someone gets the chance to say something. Yeah, you're probably right. So what I was saying was this piece of evidence. Stop. Stop. Wait, I say. Before you start over, you must be penalized. Oh, damn, he caught me. And if you don't put an end to this funny business, I've got a few more ideas. I'm gonna present some evidence. Okay, if it's not the box, then I have no idea what it could possibly be. If it's a blunt force to the back of the head. It's definitely not the small seasoning bottle, that's for sure. I don't know. There's nothing it could be. I'm just gonna pick this for BS. I obviously picked the wrong choice. Yeah, I picked the wrong choice. I can't present evidence now. I think we will finally be graced with an explanation. Don't push it, Von Karma. What? You aren't gonna suck me in this time. I'm smart enough to know when I don't have the cards to play and my hand sucks right now. What do you mean, Mr. Wright? He means that everything he said up until now has all been nonsense. It's true, right? If you can't establish proof of your murder theory, then it is nonsense. He's trying to fool us by playing some misdirection game. It looks like this isn't going past muster. Nick, you gotta show them some evidence. Easier said than done. So what will it be, Mr. Wright? Wait, I'm stuck in this. I am literally stuck in this. I can't get out of it. So there has to be... Okay. What did he use to commit murder? What did Mr. Dealing use to commit the crime of murder against Russell Berry? Okay. All right. Well. Okay. Well, if I'm stuck in this, then we have to have the correct piece of evidence. Okay. He definitely didn't use... If it wasn't these two... I was thinking maybe he, like, pushed him out of the window or something, because that was that thump. But I guess that was thinking too crazy. It's definitely not Leon, because Leon's dead. I don't think he used the monkey. I don't think he used the monkey to kill the ringmaster. An orange juice bottle that was found broken on the cafeteria floor. I don't think that would be it either. But that's the only other thing it could possibly be. The circus map. Maybe it's the circus map. As in, like, gravity. He pushed him out of the window, maybe. Maybe that's it. That's the only other theory I can come up with right now. I think you got a case that he might be the culprit. I'm not too sure. I'm not really too sure because each trial has 2 phases and we're still in phase 1, which means we still have another witness to prosecute. I mean, we still have another witness to analyze and cross-examine. So I'm not too sure, really. But if I'm stuck in this, that means there has to be a piece of evidence that's right. Or else, I don't think the game would put you in a position to soft lock you. No, I corrected myself. I cross-examined. Maybe this.
Take that!
What's that? A picture? It is indeed. The problem is with the item that is shown in the picture. The bus? It's quite a large bus. And because it's life size, it is also very, very heavy. Heavy? Heavy enough to guarantee a certain death. Especially if it was dropped from a 3-story window. Ah! See? This is how Acro was able to kill the Ringmaster. With the force of gravity in Maximilian Galactica's ample bus. Order! Order! So you're saying that the bus fell onto the Ringmaster? But wait a minute, if it fell onto the Ringmaster, why was there no, like, residue in the snow of it falling down anywhere? There was no imprints in the snow. How did he, you know what I mean? Like, if you threw an object from the 3rd story, even if it is heavy, that thing is gonna okay, in this particular case, let's say it hit a man in the back of the head. It's still gonna, like, roll somewhere. And since there's so much snow, it's gonna leave a print of snow somewhere. So maybe, what if he tied it to a rope and threw it? And it never touched the snow? I mean, that could have happened, true. But he'd have to be really, really strong. He'd have to be really, really strong. But I don't know how he would be able to do that. I don't get the box underneath the master, though. Well, the box was containing the pepper. I don't understand why they give us this stat, a 20-pound box. That's also a little weird. Like, that's important somehow. Rather than just say it's some wooden box. They give us a specific weight to it. So that has to matter for something. But, this red pepper was found in the box. And we have already concluded, figured out that Leon was given pepper into biting his brother's head. Bat's head. Now the question is, why would Pepper be in the box that had a real strong lock that was also found underneath the body of the Ringmaster? Like that, it gets even more complex. Like, why would the thing that was obviously the murder used to orchestrate the murder of Acrobat's body found in a box with the Ringmaster? Why would the Ringmaster have it? It's almost as if the Ringmaster knew or someone knew and they tried to hide it in a box. That was not only heavy, but also had a strong lock, so that the evidence would never be found. So maybe, you know what I mean? Like there's something fishy. But then again, why would the ringmaster be carrying a box at 10 p.m. at night? Because he didn't have the box when he left his meeting with Max about him smacking Ben over the head with the bottle. So he must have got that box from somewhere. I'm thinking maybe he met up with Acrobat at 10, and then after leaving Acrobat through maybe, let's just say if he is the killer, theorizing that he is the killer, the ringmaster met up with Acrobat, left the premise, which would also explain why his footprints are heading in one direction. And then he killed him somehow. And he falls over on the box. I don't know. But I have no idea. All your questions will be answered later on. Well, yeah, I assume they would be. Right now, I'm just theorizing, like, I'm just trying to create theories and try to figure out possible, paths I can take to present evidence and theorize what could have happened, ways it could have happened. I imagine the game is going. I don't think the game is just not going to tell me what happened. That would suck. So you're saying the bus fell onto the ringmaster? A rather simple crime. Even if you were stuck in a wheelchair, it would be incredibly easy to commit. Objection! How could you possibly wheel a wheelchair with something so heavy? It's impossible. Objection! Well, Acro is an acrobat. He should be more than enough. He should have more than enough upper body strength to carry something like that bus. Mr. Dealing, how do you respond to these charges? And he does have all the upper body weightlifting equipment in his room. Well, Acro's at a loss of words. He should be. He knows that I'm getting close to the truth. Well, Acro, you can't run away from things. Ow! I'd watch what I say if I were you, Mr. Phoenix Wright. What? Your Honor, the physical health of the witness is material to this case. I demand that we get a proper testimony from the witness himself. Testimony, you say? Von Karma. She's just using this testimony as a rouge to stall for time.
Objection!
There is absolutely no need for such testimony.
Objection!
The defense has its version of murder. The prosecution has a right to respond. The defense objection is overruled. Why can't he see things my way once in a while? Mr. Dealing, I'm sorry, but you need to testify about your physical condition. If you have any doubts about your ability to testify, we can request expert testimony. The witness will have no problems. However, let's all be respectful towards him. Thank you. Ugh, that woman will sink to any low to win a case. She will, just like her dad. Oh, that was the correct thing for us to do, though. We did it correctly. Nice. All right. Dude, that was Man, that was actually pretty rough. Okay. I suppose I could have lifted something the size of that bus. I have a strong upper body from working as an acrobat, and only my legs were injured. However, lifting the bus and looking out of a window would be near impossible. Would have been impossible. There's no way I could have exerted that kind of force on my lower body. There's no way I could have exerted that kind of force on my lower body. That makes it impossible for me to have known the location of the ringmaster's head. Thus, it would be unrealistic for me to drop the bus on him, don't you think? I have no doubts in regards to this witness's testimony. It was impossible for him to lift the bus and stick himself out far enough to look. Not to mention that he could have not known the location of the ringmaster's head. A single false step would have led to even more severe injuries. That's what I was thinking. What is your opinion on the matter, Mr. Wright? I'd still like to proceed with my cross-examination. He's simply stalling. It's shameful, really. Ugh, I can't let her get to me. I've got to focus. Okay, let's save again. Recently, get on. Did you dip after Bethesda? I stepped away and I wasn't sure. Yeah, after Bethesda and Devolver Digital show was over, I went to go to bed. And then I started my stream at 2, like usual. I suppose I could have lifted something the size of that bus.
Hold it!
Have you ever lifted up the bus before? No, I've never actually lifted it up on my own, with my own 2 hands. But I should get to it, don't you think? I can't let money undo me on this. Money? That crazy monkey has lifted Max's bus before? Please continue with your testimony, Mr. Dealing. I have a strong upper body from working as an acrobat, and only my legs were injured. Meow, 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 meow. I woke up 3 hours early, 12:30, so I'm still up now. Wait, what? You woke up at 12:30 your time? So it's 3:20 your time? 3:30 your time, sorry? I have a strong upper body from working as an acrobat, and only my legs were injured.
Hold it!
So, what have you been doing to keep in shape? Well, honestly, I've given up on training. I don't have any plans to return to the trapeze or the tightrope. You don't say. But no offense, I'm not worried about losing to you at a race or anything. Neither am I, Mr. Phoenix Wright. I wouldn't lose either, Slowpoke. I won't lose either, Slowpoke. I mean, Nick. Whoa, whoa, whoa. How did the discussion turn to me all of a sudden? I suppose you could say that I'm stronger than the average bear. Oh my god, was that really a was that really a Yogi the Bear reference? Oh god. However, lifting the bus and looking out of the window would have been impossible. Okay.
Hold it!
Well, good morning, sleepyhead. And why is that? Because if I were to do that, I would end up falling out the window myself. I still haven't gotten much feeling back in my legs yet. So you couldn't have thrown that bus out of the window. There's no way I could have exerted that kind of force on my lower body.
Hold it!
Okay. How long do you think your recovery will take? You have to remember that my nerves were severely damaged. I'm currently undergoing some extremely intensive rehabilitation, but I'm still it's still going to take a while before I'm back to 100%. Let me remind you of another very important point. If the witness also was carrying the bus, he would not be able to see out below the window. That makes it impossible for me to know the location of the ringmaster's head.
Hold it!
Why do you say it would be impossible? Allow me to explain. You have to accept that if I carry the bus, I couldn't see below the window. I couldn't see out below the window. Thus, there is no way that I would have known the the location of the ringmaster's head. Well, I suppose you got a point. Hey, Nick. Huh? What if you turn things around? Maybe if you think of it sort of like this. If he knew the locations of the ringmaster's head, then he could have dropped the bus. That does make sense. If only I could prove somehow that Acord knew the location of the ringmaster's head without looking down. I think I've already explained things sufficiently. Thus, it would be unrealistic for me to drop the bus on him, don't you think so?
Hold it!
If all you had to do was drop it, then it wouldn't have been a problem at all. If all I had to do was drop it, you're right, I could have done that. However, there's no way that I could land a direct hit on the ringmaster's head. So that kind of makes your theory a bit pointless, doesn't it, Mr. Wright? Acro is strong enough to lift up the bus. The main problem is how could he have aimed for the ringmaster's head? I wonder if he used some sort of tool to aim for the ringmaster's head. That's the ticket, Nick. Show them what you've got. I have to be careful. I have to find something that fits perfectly with the case. I don't remember finding any sort of tool. But maybe we overlooked something. Okay, so the evidence. Oh, shit. Is it really this? I didn't even think about this. Wait. Yeah, I didn't think about this because it said he died at 10:15. But it is, we do know that Acro wrote this. But he gave it to Regina. And then Regina put it on the bulletin board. Oh, man. Regina put it on the bulletin board. And so her dad must have saw it. So does that mean that he was killed by circumstances? Maybe he was trying to get her instead. Oh, that's probably what it was. He was trying to get her instead, maybe. However, lifting the bus and looking out the window would have been possible. There's no way I could have exerted that kind of force. Making sense. That makes it impossible for me to know the locations of the ringmaster's head. Thus, it would be unrealistic for me to drop the bus on him, don't you think? So? Okay, I think it's this one right here. It has to be this one right here. He lured the ringmaster out. But was it really the ringmaster, though? Was it really the ringmaster, though? I don't... It seems like he meant to kill Regina instead. Remember, because he put the note in her... He put the note in her, I think, her pocket or her hand or something like that. And then she found it, and then she put it on the bulletin board. So he probably meant to kill her. Oh, this has to be it.
Objection!
That's not it. The evidence clearly reveals the contradiction. God damn it. Okay, maybe that... Okay, that one's not it. Makes it impossible for me to know the location of the ringmaster's head. Thus, it would be unrealistic for me to drop the bus on him, don't you think so? Maybe it's this one.
Objection!
That's not it either. Ah, that's not it either? What? How is that not it? There's no way I could have exerted that kind of force on my lower body. What? So objecting to the two final things is not how he does it? What? Yeah, the Keanu Reeves thing was pretty cool. It makes it impossible for me to know the location of the ringmaster's head. There's no way I could have exerted that kind of force on my lower body. Lifting the bus and looking out of the window would have been impossible. I have a strong upper body from working as an acrobat. See, everything in the beginning is about his physical strength, but the last two are the only ones not about his physical... It's not about his physicality, his physique, you know? It's about his, It's about him knowing where to drop it at. It makes it impossible for me to know the location of the ringmaster's head. Okay, if it's not the note, then what else could it be? They're asking how he would know where to drop the bus. No, our contradiction is... No, we're supposed to be finding a contradiction in his testimony. That's all. They're not asking anything. It's us trying to find a contradiction in his testimony. Right now, he says he could lift... Right now, he's saying he could lift the bus, but he's saying he wouldn't know where to drop it as he can't stand up. So he could drop it out of the window, but he couldn't stand up to see where to drop it at. So he'd just drop it randomly. But if he knew somebody would be there, I don't know. It makes it impossible for me to know the location. I already tried the note, yes. Well, I tried it on both. I tried it on the last one and the one before last. It's not it. Which is why I was shocked. The crime scene. No, that has nothing to do with it. That has nothing to do with it. This has nothing to do with it. What if he used the cards as like a mirror? I don't know.
Objection!
Now I'm just kind of like, that wasn't it either. Now I'm just kind of stretching it. Thus, it would be unrealistic for me to drop the bus on his head, don't you think so?
Objection!
Yeah. My two ideas are wrong. Huh. My two ideas of what to accuse are wrong, so... It's impossible for me to know the location of the ringmaster's head. Thus, it'd be unrealistic for me to drop the bus on him. You tried the bus thing too? Yeah, that's what I just used to. That's what I just used. that was what I just used. I'm gonna use the monkey.
Objection!
I guess that's not it either? So if it's not the bus, it's not the monkey, and it's not him luring someone to the crime scene with a note, then what the fuck could it have been? Like what? I mean, those all are like, those all make sense. Well, I guess not. It makes it impossible for me to know the location of the ringmaster's head, but maybe the monkey would know. Thus, it would be unrealistic for me to drop the bus on him. Okay.
Objection!
That's not it either, is it? That isn't it. Okay. So that isn't it. Okay. Nah, that doesn't make sense. Placed by Acro and Regina's pocket on the morning of the crime. That doesn't really make sense. How would you know the master's gonna walk to your room when you gave it to Regina? You wouldn't. That doesn't add up. It was pretty clear that he wanted Regina to be there. Grand Prix. Already did the bus. It makes sense. It makes sense why he would want Regina to be there, because his brother was trying to impress her by doing something foolish. And you know, it's easy to see why he would blame her. If it's not the monkey, the circus map. That doesn't make no. I don't remember. Regina mentioned the note before and what she thought of it. I don't really even remember what she said. I've already done that. I don't understand. None of the other evidence really pertains to this part of the case. I'm not really. That makes it impossible for me to know the location. There's no way I could have exerted that kind of force on my lower body. There's no way I could have exerted that kind of force on my lower body. I don't know. Now I'm just shooting for... That wasn't it. Now I'm just shooting randomly. Thus, it makes it unrealistic for me to drop the bus on him. Did I use the monkey for this one? I did. Okay. Man. God, I hate it when I get stuck like this. I feel so stupid for not being able to figure it out. Thus, it would be unrealistic for me to drop the bus on him, don't you think? Okay. Acro is strong enough to lift up the bus. The main problem is how he could have aimed for the ringmaster's head. I wonder if he used some sort of tool to aim for the ringmaster. That's the trick, Nick. Show them what you've got. Okay. But maybe we overlooked something. Tool that I have. I have a strong upper body. Yeah. However, lifting the bus and looking out the window would have been impossible. There's no way I could have exerted that kind of force on my lower body. Okay, so if you were using a tool, C, what would it be? It wouldn't be the broken bottle, that's for sure. I don't think so. I think it would have been a hat. exerted that kind of force on my lower body.
Hold it!
Oh crap, I didn't mean to do that. Oops. Makes it kind of impossible for me to know the location. Thus, it would be unrealistic for me to drop the bus on his head. There's no way I could have exerted. However, lifting the bus and looking out of the window would have been impossible. I have a strong upper body from working as an acrobat when my legs are injured. However, lifting up the bus and looking out of the window would have been impossible. Okay. Do do do. Do do do. There's no way I could have exerted that kind of force on my lower body. That makes it impossible for me to know the location of the ringmaster's head. I'm just gonna...
Objection!
Yeah, the case. That was a total guess. Total guess. Acro. You didn't really need to lean out of the window, did you? What are you driving at, Mr. Wright? You already knew ahead of time where the ringmaster was going to be. Quite precisely, I may add. Lucky Akka strikes again. That was indeed luck. I guessed. I didn't know. I had literally zero reason to pick the box in my mind. I guessed 100%. To be quite precise, if I may.
Objection!
You're silly hinting at things. Your silly hinting at things is pointless, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Enough stalling. How about you show us some evidence? But I did such a good job hinting. Yes, hurry up and explain things, Mr. Wright. Maybe you should take a look at this. The key point here is the wooden box. The same wooden box that the victim was found, hunched over? The same. The question is, who placed the wooden box here? Who? When Ben and company saw the ringmaster, they didn't see him holding the box. Which means that this wooden box was already placed at the scene of the crime. I have to admit that your theory makes a lot of sense. The moment that the bus came falling down was the exact moment the ringmaster lifted up the heavy box. This means that the answer to all these questions is now crystal clear. You mean if the bus were to fall upon the point marked out by the wooden box, there would be no way that it could miss the head of the victim. No. Order. Order. This is unbelievable. Finally, some of the loose ends are starting to tie themselves up. Now I just gotta keep going, and there's only one way to go from here forward. So the next question I have is, who placed the wooden box at the scene? It was Mr. Dealing, of course. He connected it to a rope, and all he had to do is lower it down. Ow! Allow me to whip some sense in you, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Ow! The ringmaster's head could have been anywhere when he lifted the box. That's why the box was so specifically made. Specially made. Indeed. It had the most peculiar feature. The size of the box, the weight of the box. It's so heavy. The box has a remarkable weight. According to the court record, it weighs 20 pounds. Just to lift up this wooden box would require... Oh, I see. One would have to squat down and lift it up with their body. Wouldn't you say? That's exactly what I was pointing out. That's exactly what I was trying to point out. The box is also very large. The box also has carrying handles on either side, doesn't it? That is correct. To lift up the box, you'd have to squat down. Which means that no matter who you are, your head would be approximately the same place. Fool. Does he even bother to listen to me anymore? I've heard what you've had to say. I must admit, I'm shocked at your imaginative skills. Did you do it? Did you place this wooden box in the plaza? Mr. Wright may have a vivid imagination, but I could never have done what he's proposing. What? Mr. Wright, do you recall the original location of Max's bus? I remember. Of course I remember. It was on the top of the table in the cafeteria. Then what happened to it? I'd like you to remember one important fact, Mr. Wright. I could not possibly leave the lodging house by myself. Ah, that makes sense. You understand what I mean, don't you? I may very well have been able to drop the bus from my room. However, how would I have gotten the bus from the cafeteria to my room? You see, Mr. Phoenix Wright, explain that. Don't forget, you said there was no accomplice. Ugh. Tell us exactly how the witness would have carried the bus from the cafeteria. Yep, we definitely have a problem here. But this is no place to get perplexed. I've got to get my wits about me and prove how things happen once and for all. All right, Mr. Wright, let's hear your explanation. Shit, here we go. How did the witness get the bus from the cafeteria back to his room? The monkey.
Take that!
A monkey? Everyone knows money. He loves shiny objects of any size. Oh, like when he stole the ventriloquist's ring. So, are you saying the witness had a monkey steal the bus? Of course he didn't order the monkey to steal it. The monkey stole it on his own, and then brought it back home. Oh. Money lives in Acro's room. Acro's room?
Objection!
But the bus was bronze, wasn't it? Bronze isn't all that shiny.
Objection!
Maybe you should put that whip down sometimes and read the court record. My, those are some very nice looking cards he's holding. Yes, and they are made of platinum, which is very shiny. Oh, God. I love it when she feels like she just got stabbed. Acro. Money is a strong monkey, right? It'd be easy for him to bring the bus back to your room. If he wasn't able to handle that himself, I'd be on the market for a new roommate. Order, order, I said order. Miss Von Karma. Where is the bus in question at this moment? Okay, wait a minute. Why? Wait a minute. If the monkey is being accused of bringing the bus back to his room and he's being accused of dropping the bus on the ringmaster's head, why in the world would he make a joke about getting a new monkey if he's not able to pick up the statue? That doesn't make any sense. He's literally agreeing with him. I don't know. We're searching for it as we speak. This is a rather strange turn of events. Well, let's say that the monkey had not stolen the bus. What would have happened then? Well, in that event, something else would have been used as the murder weapon. Wait. Then you mean this bus was the murder weapon purely by accident? It's possible. Maybe Acro saw Money's mountain of stolen goods and then thought to use one of them. Anyways, I think we've more than proved one critical fact. Namely, that it was entirely possible that Acro was the murderer. Moron. Mr. Wright's argument was so, circular. I'm still a bit dizzy, however. His argument does hold water. There's no denying that. Wait, isn't the saying hold weight? I've never heard hold water. Ow! Don't seem so flamboozled, especially by this fraud of an attorney. Fraud? You've forgotten the absolute most important thing, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Look at her sweat as she's saying this. And what is that? You should know. You forgot that your fraud of a magical client was spotted at the scene of the crime. There is no reason to doubt the clown's testimony. That's true. How do you respond to that, Mr. Wright? Nick, don't let her beat you now. I won't. This is my chance to turn this trial around. When the murder occurred, there were two people at the scene of the crime. One was the victim, Russell Berry. The other was the murderer himself. Answer this, and only this, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Oh shit. Okay. Who was the murderer the clown saw? Oh god. Oh god. Who was the murderer the clown saw? Shit. It's not Acro, that's for sure. You want to be able to move. Money?
Take that!
What is this supposed to mean? Yes, what is this supposed to mean? Do you mind explaining that to me? Fuck. That's not it, shit. Oh, God. Then answer me this, and only this, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Who was the murderer the clown saw? Who was it? Uh... Uh... Hmm. Acro?
Take that!
That's not it either? Hmm. Okay, if it's not the money and it's not Acro. And it was Mo himself?
Take that!
God damn it! Okay, if it's not Mo and it's not Acro and it's not the monkey, then who could it have been? Mo? The only person left is Mo! There's no way it was Regina. No way. Russell Berry? Not Russell Berry.
Take that! Take that!
Not Mo either? Shit. It's either Max or it's Regina.
Take that!
What?
Take that!
Dude, I literally picked everybody. I literally picked everyone, so it's not a person. Hmm. Hmm. Go through each item and think about it. Well, it has to be an item because it's not a person. I've already selected every single person except his brother who's in a coma. So it's not a person, it's an item. But if it's an item, what would it be? The only thing that makes sense to me is the hat. Dude, these cases have gotten really hard. They like some of the spots were so obvious, but man, are they really tough?
Take
The
that!
hat? That's not it either? Who was the murderer the clown saw? And then Basil of Max's 3 famous symbols.
Take that!
Wasn't the poster either. Circus mount. Who was the murderer the monkey saw?
Take that!
Ow. I asked who was the other person Mo saw on the scene. The evidence has nothing to do with the question.
Objection!
En contraire, mon frère, it does indeed have something to do with the question. Mo said that he saw Max's silhouette, but he did not actually see the man himself. It wasn't a human being he saw. How is that possible? It's simple, really. What Mo actually saw was Max's bus.
Objection!
What are you talking about? Have you tried using your brain at all in this case? The silhouette he saw was wearing a cloak.
Objection!
Objection. There's no reason why you couldn't attach a cloak to a bus. It would be easy to hang one off the cards with the bus in the bus's hands. Idiot. Who in their right mind would put a cloak on a bus? It doesn't matter who put it on the bus. Just wait just a minute now, Mr. Wright. Who put the cloak on the bus? The question is of the utmost importance to this case, don't you agree? Oh, he caught me. So let's have it, Mr. Wright. Shit. Who put the cloak on the bus?
Take that!
I wonder, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Didn't the defendant wear this cloak the entire time he was at, Didn't the defendant wear his cloak the entire time he was at practice? So then how did this person get a hold of the cloak? Well... Furthermore, how would this person have gotten the cloak into the onto the bus, I wonder? Because this person was not spotted at the scene. I'm sorry. When she's so nice about telling me I'm wrong, it hurts even more. The famous Von Karma, carrot and whip approach. Okay, if it's not him, then who would it be?
Take that!
Fool him? Are you saying it was the victim himself, Russell Berry? That's what I'm saying. The victim himself placed the cloak on the bus? Place the cloak isn't really the right way of putting it. Then what would be the right way of putting it, Mr. Wright? Explain yourself. Nick, do you really have a handle on all of this? I'm fine, Maya. I'm finally putting all the pieces together. There's really only one picture I can paint anyways. Alright. So, you want to know what really happened that night. Let's step back in time. Acro used the rope to lower the wooden box onto the floor. Where is this? I'm sorry, but where is this so-called rope at? Where is this make-believe rope at? Then he attached the rope to the bus and dangled the bus out of his bedroom window directly above the wooden box. At the same time, the ringmaster told Max to wait in his room and went to the scene, of course. At the time, the ringmaster was wearing Max's costume. Perhaps he didn't want anyone to recognize him that night. But just as he feared, he was spotted at the entrance of the lodging house by none other than the ventriloquist and his puppet, Ben and Trilo. When the ringmaster arrived at the scene, he bent over to lift the wooden box. And that's when Acro took his chance and released the rope. Bonk. Now, this is when the magic happens. At the very instant the bus hits the victim. Boink. You waited just a second there, Mr. Phoenix Wright. As much as you try, as much as you scheme, this just isn't true. It can't be. It's still a little early to be getting so upset, Miss Von Karma. This circus isn't over yet. Yes. What? The impact of the bus on the victim threw the cloak up, which snagged onto the bus. That impact also caused the sound a certain witness heard, prompting him to take a look. And that would be Mo. The witness was, of course, Lawrence Mo Curls, the clown. When Mo looked out his window, the cloak had already snagged onto the bus. Now, having completed the crime, Acro naturally went about pulling up the murder weapon. Of course, he had no idea that Mo saw the bus being raised with the cloak dangled on it. But how the hell did Mo not see the rope? There's no rope in this image. Where's the rope at? It would be clear as day right here. In the light, might I add. Like, that's such bullshit. What is it, an invisible rope? This rope is the most ludicrous thing this entire case. Hey, what's up, Jack? What's going on? They're saying it's snowing and it can be hard to see. I mean, that's true and all, but you're saying I don't know. If this light is bright enough to silhouette someone this dark, you would see a rope. You would also see the rope because the rope is literally probably tied right around here. So, you know what I mean? Like in a loop. You would totally see that thing. Maybe it's a special rope that Maxis uses to fly around. Maybe. But this rope is like the most BS thing. It's this rope is like such bullshit. It's pulled out of nowhere. It's pulled out of nowhere. There's no evidence of it whatsoever. And now we're spitting like it's factual in court, even though like it's non-existent. Like it's non-existent. We have we don't even have it. I hate it when this happens in this game. There's so many cases where like there's a certain element that's not actual evidence, but it's like factual. And you just have to accept it. And this rope is one of them. maybe they'll bring the rope up soon. Maybe, but I don't think so. No. Primarily because because in his wheelchair he couldn't have seen out of his window. So he just kept pulling the bus up. Yeah, no, that makes sense, Jack. That does make so much sense, because if there was a rope in the picture, it would have been easily to tie the murder to Acro. It would have been easier. That does make sense from a game's perspective. Unless you count training to not die as a responsibility. And that is how the magical murder disappearing into the sky came to be. Damn, nobody has anything to say. So you see, the only person who could have pulled this off is the only person who was able to drop the murder weapon from above the crime scene. Acro. It could only have been you. Acro's been playing mind games with us all, with all of us. He sure has. But he has to come to an end of his rope now. So, what now? You've graced us with a rather long-winded tale. But do you have any evidence to prove that your fairy tale is true? Evidence? In this court, only two things matter: the power of evidence and the power of my whip. I don't think that counts. Don't forget the power of my gavel as well. Mr. Wright, the prosecution brings up a good point. And we see some evidence. Shit. No. Nick, they said they want evidence. I just explained how there can only be one possible murder method. But there's still something unusual about Mo's eyewitness account. Unusual? Contradiction, actually. Okay then, use that and get out of this jam. That's enough talking amongst yourselves. Proceed, Mr. Wright. Present some evidence to the court that backs your claims. Okay. I want hard proof that you have unraveled the trick to this magic case. Okay. Hard evidence. I feel like it's...
Take that!
Try again. God damn it. God damn it. I want hard evidence that you unraveled the trick to this magic case.
Take that!
The problem is Max's 3 symbols. Why did you pick the fail? Because I wasn't thinking about the magic trick. I was thinking about the murder case, and I was like, oh, he lured him. This is his reason to murder him. And I didn't think about the actual hat. He was talking about the trick. I was thinking beyond the trick. The problem is the Max's 3 symbols. You know, the silk hat, the cloak, and the white roses. Those symbols were a problem numerous times during yesterday's proceedings. Yesterday, There were 2 contradictions in Mo's testimony. The silk hat was one, and the white roses were the other. But the theory I just presented explains all of these contradictions. You fool. Do you ever shut up? Max's silk hat was found at the scene of the crime. However, remember what Mo said yesterday. He testified that the criminal he saw fleeing the scene was wearing a silk hat. There's only one explanation for that. The silk hat that Mo saw was actually the bus's. Makes sense. If you look at it that way, then he did see the silk hat. Well, sorta.
Objection! Objection!
Fine, you've got one, but what about the other contradiction? The other contradiction? Remember what the ventriloquist said in court? I love this face of hers. She's in such pain. Look at her. She's so mad. He said that the witness, he said that he witnessed the white roses on Max's chest that night. But the clown testifies, testimony doesn't mention. But the clown's testimony doesn't match. That's because he saw it from behind. Oh my God. The clown said that there were no white roses. Look at the way he's not looking at it straight on. So of course there's gonna be no white roses. I'd like to see you try and explain that one away. Can you do it, Nick? Of course I can explain all of it. What was that? Please recall the instance when the cloak snagged onto the bus. Bonk. If the cloak snagged onto the bus, what happened to the white roses? Do you get it yet? If the cloak got snagged onto the front of the bus, it means that the white roses would end up on the back of the bus. Which explains why Mo didn't see them. The white roses were not visible because they weren't on the back side of the bus. Order! Order! Nice. This is quite the shocking state of affairs. Mr. Wright's theory still sounds a bit absurd to me. However, let's just keep going down this road for a while and see where it leads. Let's do this, Nick. And maybe Von Karma will finally throw in the towel. Oh God, there's that condescending finger. Well, so much for that theory. Mr. Wright, do you mind? Oh, what is it? You took the time to research our circus, didn't you? Well, yes, I did. Is there something making you think that I didn't? You did, then maybe you'll explain why I think you're off track. Why is that? Motive. This witness feels an incredible debt of gratitude towards the ringmaster. Anyone with any relation to the circus is well aware of this. Thus, there is absolutely no way someone like this would kill the ringmaster. Your Honor, I'd like you to hear Acro's story. Learn about his relationship with the ringmaster and his life up until now. What do we do? There's no doubting that Acro deeply respected the ringmaster. Acro's motive. It seems that this case isn't over yet. Very well. However, I feel this is a good place to take a break. I will listen to the rest of Mr. Dealing's testimony after recess. This court will now take a 10-minute recess. Okay, so that's how they separate it. To be continued. That's how it gets separated. Okay. His motive was he didn't mean to kill him. I think it was a pure accident. I think he meant to kill Regina.